Hi, Mel. I'm going to do your Soul Rebirth Journey now. So I'm doing this alongside my friend Joseph Bradley. So we're both going to do a journey healing for you at the exact same time. So he's getting started right now as well. so, so I'm just going to relax and then we'll enter and see what happens here, okay? There's a ring of light. It feels like a ring around a planet. Is a ring of light in a dark place, and it really feels like it is a reflection of, it's like it's ringing around a planet. I feel like I am ringing around a planet. Something rings right. Something rings true. Also, a play on words here with what is ringing. There's such an energy, and it's really warm. I feel it throughout my body. I feel like I'm going to higher places in my life, higher places of self-awareness. Who and what I am as a divine light. Who and what I am as an infinite soul. This is much more than a human experience. This is a very profound and enlightening spiritual experience. This is a gift that is going to take you much higher in life, beyond the stars. Do you know what exists beyond the stars? You know what exists beyond the stars. Your soul knows. Your soul has seen many sides of the reflection. Sides that create light, and sides that create the illusion of darkness. Do you know about the reflective sides of your soul? Let us show you. They are spinning mirrored plates, spinning around a red flower. It's a red rose. The plates are smaller and smaller, and now they are the size of the petals. But they are rectangular with sharp sides. They aren't smooth or rounded sides. They want to be rounded. They want to be smoothed and rounded. They are connecting with this rose. This is real. It's what looks like glass. Like glass, tiny glass rectangles. Like the size of rose petals. They don't blend with the texture or the identity of a rose. They're different. They're trying to connect. They're trying to become part of the rose's reflection, but they are different. They aren't a rose. They're rectangular pieces of glass. What this looks like. I smell the rose. I'm not paying attention to the rectangular pieces of glass. In fact, I don't even pay them any attention at all, to the point I don't see them. I only see the rose. I pick the rose, and it's amazing how huge the blossom is. It feels like it's my nose goes into it and it just surrounds my face. It's such a lovely feeling. It's like rose petals all the way to my eyebrows and all the way down. It's such a huge rose. It's just mushing into my face. There's just so many rose petals, and they're so soft. And I can put my nose in the center, and they're touching my whole face. They're so soft. And it's just so delightful. It literally submerged the nose into the rose and then just feel it around the face. It's unlike anything else. It's like I don't think I've ever done that before. It's like you can smell so many flowers, but how often do you actually put your nose right into it and then just have rose petals all over your face? I mean, the rose has so many layers of petals. It just seems to go on and on forever. I just feel like I'm delighting in this. It's interesting. As I as I sort of take the rose off, I look into what is a portal of light here. It's like the sun, but it is pure white light. It's like a portal to heaven. And I'm enjoying what is this flower, but there's simultaneously an opposing reflection of myself. So I have two faces. One face is real pure and angelic, and the other face is sort of, it's got an evil flair to it. It's got an evil flicker to it. The purity is completely not there at all. And what you would see would be like sisters, right? So you have one sister is white skin, white hair, white, like purity, and it's reflecting purity as white everything. So it's just white light. It's light that illuminates, right? Purity is illumination. And so then you have a sort of this twin sister that's got like jet black hair and black, like puts black lipstick on and this black around the eyes, and wears some like S&M clothing and leather and whips and chains. Sort of, so you've got these two blending in between each other, one and then you see purity, and then it flickers into, you see this version and it flickers into purity. So you have two versions going back and forth in this way. There's an angel or a spiritual being coming down. It's a man. He holds his arms out like this. He's wearing a white sort of cloth garment, and he's just got it out, and it goes all the way, this cloth goes all the way down. He's got really long white hair too. He's coming down, he's landing before you. He even does this and bows. There's nothing Asian about his appearance. He really wants me to emphasize his respect and reverence of you. He literally is doing this and bowing to you. He's doing and he's looking at you, he's honoring you. There's silence. And he's doing this to you. He's not speaking. It is really quite a gesture of respect. They're saying, who is he respecting? Does he respect this evil version? Does he respect the purest version? I say they're blended in oneness. He respects the totality of the divine soul. What is a soul journey if it is not exploring all of the sides of an infinite universe? What is evil but the illusion? It's an illusion of love. It is a world without love. And so what does it lack is the purity, the real love, the nourishment of love. It's the soul that chooses to go into a state of being completely and utterly disconnected from love. What is a soul? It is love. So when the soul chooses to separate from love, it chooses to separate from what it's ever known about who and what it is. How is our souls created? That love is what creates. Love is always what creates. Evil just creates more of the illusion of evil. So this is a reflection of your soul's profoundness in its choice to walk in directions that are very extreme even. They're wanting me to say that yes, your soul does have quite a dark reflection that we would label or define as evil. But does that make you evil? Does it make you evil? Are you able to experience the love within your heart? Are you able to experience divine love? So you get to decide who and what you are. They're saying you can feel ripples of this other reflective part of you. That doesn't mean that you are that, or you have to be that, or you have to align with that. It's just a real reflection of how dynamic and deep and extraordinary your soul is. They're wanting me to show, okay, there is a body of a higher self. Well, that's the best I can define it. There's your highest vibrational reflection. It separates, creates a triangle. You're still this vibrational reflection. But this highest vibrational reflection is now two halves. One half that is exploring experiences where there is no love. The illusion of love basically is evil. This side is experiencing pure love. So are they separated? Or are they still in oneness? The highest self is up here at the top of the pyramid, and this highest self is also experiencing two different versions of experience. I don't know how else to describe it. So that is what they're showing me right now. I'm walking into the doorway of the triangle. I'm walking through higher self up here, two different sides of your reflection here. And I'm walking into what is the shape of a triangle, as though it is a doorway. I feel like I am letting go. I even feel like I am letting go the dynamic or the density that creates myself. What could only be described as my particles, elements are blowing in the wind, and I am just a light body. I am just a light body. I have let go of everything. I am walking down a very long tunnel. I feel loneliness. I feel extreme grief. I feel lost. I feel like this tunnel is a tunnel of separation. Separation that creates all of this pain and all of this suffering. And I am continuing to walk it with strength and confidence because my soul is that strong. It can choose to have experiences of separation, and these experiences can be extremely painful. Extremely painful. Physically painful, mentally painful, emotionally painful. The soul endures this journey. Does that make you dark? Does that make you evil? That's all they're saying. I'm continuing to walk. I feel the wind hitting me. I'm walking into a state of sheer darkness, where it is so dark I can't even feel the light at all. This is the soul's descent into an experience of this kind. There is only a tiny pinprick of light, and it feels so far away. It feels like I could reach my hand and touch it, but yet it is miles and miles and miles away, and all that is around me is pure darkness. The illusion is that it is far away when this pinprick of light is actually within the heart. The hardest part of this soul journey is that it has to rediscover where the light exists. When it separates, it goes through such a severe journey of experiences that are separated from the thriving energy of creation and love that creates. This is the love that destroys, that tears, that rips, that creates deformity, that creates agony, that creates anguish, suffering, nightmares, unimaginable nightmares. Does that mean it's evil? Or does that mean that you are one amazing soul? So how do you find the light within your heart? The illusion is that you have to keep walking this pathway of hell in order to get back to the light, when really you are walking this pathway in order to find the light within your heart. They're saying there's a reason why you are this reflection of purity is because your soul has accomplished this. Your soul has accomplished this. That's a really big deal. That is a very, very big deal. You have a lot to be proud of. So what are we seeing when we see you? Do we see you as this pure and angelic reflection, or do we see you as this soul that chose to be broken and tormented and chose to experience something that was different, that inspired a version of love that we see is wear black lipstick and S&M clothes and whips and chains and, violence and anger and kill and, whatever. When really, what are we crying out for? Help to find the love within our hearts again. They say your soul managed to find the love within its heart again in order to be who and what you are today. This was really important that you knew this wisdom about your soul. It's really important that you knew this. They're saying help the soul to find the light within the heart. They're having me still remain in the scene where I see a tiny pinprick of light. So I'm taking the light and I'm helping it in the heart of the soul. In this scene, there's so many flickers of things that just happened. I took this tiny little ball and attempted to put it in your heart. I blew love there into your heart to ignite the flame, right? Oxygen to create more light. And in that process, they showed me that I'm the angel and that you are now able to get through to see, feel, hear, experience an angel that is there to love you and help return you back into the light. Some part of your soul is still somehow lingering in that tunnel, and it is ready to fully return to the light. They're saying your soul journey accomplished this feat, but because of the infinite time, there's no past, present, future. Everything is happening in a now moment. Some version of your infinite reflection is still somehow stuck in this darkness. And so I am also simultaneously an angel come to help you. While simultaneously I'm basically in a room where there is a human being who is on the floor rocking and crying. It's like a child, but I can't see because it's so dark in here. But it looks like everything is covered in blood walls. And so, you were completely alone, completely separated. The soul is literally shaking and crying. And it's literally like you are surrounded. You are stuck in a tiny closet and the walls are covered in blood and it is dark. And there's just a very thin hue, red hue, enough that I could see this moving body. And it's not like an adult. It's more like a child. You aren't screaming. You're just crying and alone. I'm not allowed to touch you in the way I try to touch you. I try to comfort you, but instantly I'm pushed away. It's important that we allow this part of you to share its feelings. I am crying because I desperately want to touch this part of you, but they aren't allowed. It's not to be. It is not meant to be. I am not allowed to help you. They're saying, do you know how many souls choose to walk down that pathway into darkness and deception to the illusion of love, that have these experiences in a spiritual dimension, have these versions of what could only be described as spiritual hell, and the angels that come that want to help, but it is not meant to be. They cannot feel the love. They have to wait it out until they choose to return to the light again. Angels cannot help them. They can want to they can want to in the deepest parts of their divine reflection. They try, and they find it creates grief in them because they can't help your soul find the light it has to choose to. So all they can do is wait. And that's what they're showing me. I feel so much grief. I am basically an angel here to help you, an angel here to comfort you, to help you back, help you feel the light within you, help you return to God. And you are not able to experience the love that I have to share. There's a part of you that looks at me, it's quite demonic, it screams, and it has really sharp nails, and it's slashing. It's trying to hurt me, but there's a barrier wall between us, and it's basically stuck in a room where it's just slashing at walls with these nails and ripping everything apart. It's screaming. This version is quite scary in comparison to the part that was just sort of rocking. This is a new version. I mean, you look like a skeleton, but you still have skin. Your mouth is overwhelmingly oversized. It has extremely sharp teeth, really large claws, and really long bony fingers, and you're just slashing. There's so much dark sort of fluids coming out the mouth, coming out around the body, and it's just screaming and slashing in a room. It would be like you took somebody who had lost their mind, put them in a room that has like bulletproof glass you can actually see, and they're just screaming and slashing the walls everywhere, trying to rip things to shreds, wanting to rip everything to shreds. This is the torment of the soul that chooses to separate from love, actually chooses it to experience this gift of learning. It's not just a gift of learning for the soul, it's a gift of learning for God, it's a gift of learning for all the human beings. Obviously, as human beings who encounter the souls that are going on this journey experience, it can be, these are the types of souls that torture other people. These are the types of souls that are very extreme terrorists, and it's very hard to know how to love a soul like that. It is very hard. And so that too is learning for us, as it is also learning for that soul. So what do we make of this? Some part of your soul is still in this extreme state of suffering, and it's time to release that part of your soul. It's actually time. Your soul has suffered enough. And you coming to me and opening up to this work is your soul's voice that says, I'm ready to take the light from the tunnel and discover that it was in my heart all along. So we will accomplish this work. You're supposed to see these scenes so you know the state of suffering your soul has endured in order to be who and what you are today. And you have a lot to be proud of. People don't see what happens to souls. They don't fall from grace. They actually choose to go on a journey of self-discovery and learning for the infinite library. And that creates so much torment and suffering for the soul. It is very hard. It's grieving. It's unbelievable. It's unimaginable pain and suffering. So I'm just standing here watching. There's something about her appearance. It kind of looks like a Monster High girl. It's just because she's got, I don't know which girl it is. I don't know much about him, but this one has like black and white streaks in her hair, and then she's got kind of like a greenish colored skin or something. She just, they have those Monster High girl outfits. There's something about this one. I mean, you take a Monster High girl and now you make her even skinnier with her cheeks sunken in, and then some skin ripped off, so you're seeing some of her bones. Her hands are way oversized with massive claw, like fingernail pieces, oversized. She has ginormous sharp teeth everywhere, and her hair's just, she's scary. She's absolutely scary. I'm just choosing patience. This is helping. I'm able to see this part of you in the closet is actually starting to hear or discover there's a different feeling in the air. You still can't see or acknowledge that I'm there. You don't acknowledge me. Now I see that other part of you screaming again. It keeps echoing back and forth between the two scenes. I keep trying to share love with this part, and there's some moment of a tiny little moment of something got through, then she starts screaming at me and wanting to attack me. So I'm sharing energy with her. I'm giving her a gift of love from God. She has needed this so bad. It's what deformed her. It's what created all this violence. It's what created all of this inspiration to hurt others and hurt herself. This really is a part of your soul journey and reflection. She's feeling it inside. She's been screaming and in so much torment and pain. It's softening her very quickly, actually. It's time. It's actually time. The whole universe and the spirit realm and angels and everything that is a reflection of love that has waited a long time for this part of your soul to have this moment where it could be nurtured back to health, to be able to be held again by God's love. God misses this part of you. God actually misses this part of you so much, and it knows now that it's time, so it can embrace you and help you heal. You're so loved for this choice. We don't understand the soul choices and what creates the worst and the best in us, and what that does, how that separates us from God. That's huge. God is really welcoming this part of you back into the light. It's dissolving all of the walls. It is calming you and relaxing you. It is helping your nails to you're starting to regain sensation of what your normal health looks like. You're still not familiar. You seem like I remember this, but I just don't understand. I don't understand, but you're starting to understand. I'm seeing you turn into illumination. Illumination just looks like pure white light to me. So your hair is it's growing, and it's so thick and it's pure white. And then your face is also just glowing, and your body is starting to morph into a healthy looking female and just glowing in light. All that experience is just instantly a part of the past. It was known that it would happen, but you have to go through the experience before you can ever reach this moment, right? Your soul, it's amazing, the sensation of time. What could be thousands of incarnations completed in a single moment, and everything done, but yet all of the thousands of incarnations of that gnawing, severe nightmare pain, it was felt by your soul in such a way it's unfathomable for us to imagine. Totally unfathomable. Instantly, in a moment, healed by God's love. Totally transformed as if it never happened, but it did. It absolutely did. We are seeing this part of you. I can feel the glow within, and it is all around you. It's amazing, the glow is. It's overwhelming. I'm just taking it in right now. It's really intense. The energy is really intense and beautiful. What is a soul? It is slowly in a state of movement into the light. Although it is surrounded by the light, it is getting more and more sort of closer to the center, the most purest, most concentrated, most infinite God part. It's the only way I could describe it. You're going into that. You're just moving in this direction, and you are also within it, but you are moving towards it at the same time. You are finding yourself filling with more infinite love and infinite light, and you just, the purity and the love and the illumination, what was chaos now, bam, instantly, insanely purified. And it's just getting more and more purified. It's almost hard to breathe because of the purity of the love is so concentrated and so beautiful. It's such a gift. You are ascending. Let go. They say you can let go now. They say all of that is part of what was. Even that part of you that was in the closet, soul dissolved, has no relationship with anything anymore. It's what was. And all that is left is just light. So beautiful. So beautiful. I'm just going to continue to experience this, and then I'll share again when the time comes. The image is your illuminated reflection, this immaculately healed part of your soul, so beautiful, gravitating into a pure and pure and pure, more concentrated God light. And that is what I'm experiencing. So beautiful. You say, I'm ready to grow. I'm ready to expand. I'm ready to go beyond this. Beyond the stars. I am more than I have ever been before. I am more because of God's love. Because of my soul choices and my experiences. I am a divine and infinite creation of love. There is a sensation of a holy entity, a holy being. This is you. In this pure center, but also ascending beyond it, going above it. It's just not just inspired to just go upward. So we have a humongous ball of light, and all around is what looks like outer space. And then you're in the center, and then you decide to move beyond this pure light. And you're going upward. You're naturally just gravitating upward. What is this God light if there's God light that is even more ascended than this? This God light is extraordinary. It's like stars in the sky, stars in the universe. Also a reflection of spirit realms too. Stars as spirit realms as well. Soul houses. Different reflections of purified God energy. It's extraordinary. You are inspired to gravitate upward. They want me to define this as raising your vibration, human ascension, going beyond the infinite experience as you've ever known it, to something far more infinite than you've ever known. This is you. This is who you are. You have a lot to be proud of. Now you understand why he stops and takes a very long pause and respectfully bows to you. Who is he bowing towards? Do you know? Is he bowing towards the evil part or the purified part? He's bowing to your infinite reflection. Your soul journey is extraordinary. What creates the evil and what creates the purification? How can you become so pure without having to understand the separation? It's the only way to understand love in its most purest form. It's extraordinary. The energy is really profound. Keep seeing Joseph's face sort of flickering in and out. I don't always know where his soul is or what his soul is up to, but sometimes I do see him. His soul is really connected because I can feel the emotion that he's experiencing is also on the same level as my own. It's really beautiful. It's really soft. It's got an ecstasy about it that is very pure. I can't feel this if it isn't real, if it isn't there. This is the most transformative wisdom I can provide your soul. And this is the most transformative wisdom because it is coming from your soul as well. Your human self needs to know this. Love is raising us all up. Joseph, I, and you. And I'm seeing you as a super bright star very quickly going upward like a rocket. Up, up, up and away, I see you go. There's so much happiness and smiling. There's a sensation as though our souls are very proud of you. It's really amazing when you can have these moments doing a journey healing and feel the meaning of other souls, you know? And you're a beautiful soul. You're absolutely extraordinary, beautiful soul. It's gonna make me sneeze. It's a good sign when I get the sneezy effect, because I'm like really in the zone. The God energy makes me sneeze. I overrided it. He didn't sneeze. It's beautiful. I don't even know what to do next. I tell my spirit guides, I just don't even know what to do, because I'm in the happy zone, and I just don't know what to do. They ask me, do you want us to take you out of the happy zone? And it's like, well, I want to make sure that I'm focused on healing you as much as I can. And I know that healing is also a part of entering spaces that aren't the most loving and purified. Because how do you heal? You tend to the wounds, right? You don't tend to the healthy skin and the perfect smile or whatever it might be. You tend to the owie parts. Make those feel better. So they're letting me linger here. It's beautiful. I just want to stay here, I say. I got to see how your amazing soul became who and what you are. Now I see you going so much further. How could I not want to just stay and cherish this moment? It's not just for me, it's for you too. And somehow I'm sharing it to you with Joseph's soul. And I'm sharing it with everybody's soul who watches the video. We all need to feel this in our hearts. We all do. And we need to feel this in our hearts every day. The warmth of God's love. The warmth of our soul choices. The warmth of what is sacrifice. The ultimate sacrifice is when the soul chooses to separate from God's love. It's the ultimate, most tormenting sacrifice, but we don't look at it that way. We don't like souls that hurt other people, but those are the souls that separate from God's love in order to try to find it again within their hearts. It's one of the hardest journeys. It's the hardest journey a soul could ever take. We don't see that. It's just they're letting me linger. As I linger, I am experiencing a sensation of shift. I'm standing, and there's some sort of black liquid here up to just past my ankles, and there's kind of a black energy breeze and the feeling of a breeze hitting a tree. I can't see anything because of the darkness. Even though there's a liquid, I hear footsteps one after the other after the other. And it's not footsteps in water, it's footsteps on what's like marble floor. There's the sound of opening a door. There's the sound of movement. There's just a really huge shift in energy. There's nothing. It's just exhausting. Feels just. Like I'm waiting for something to happen. It's not evil, it's not love, but it's heavy, heavy, heavy energy. I'm just sitting down now in this liquid, black liquid. It looks like it's a kitchen that's got like 6 inches of water in it. I mean, it sounds like not a door that opened, but like the sound of a fridge door that just opened and closed. I'm sitting like next to some chairs of some kind. I just feel such heavy energy. All I can do is sit down. I want to stand, but I can't. As if I could stand and I could heal this place. But I don't know that it necessarily needs healing. There's reason for everything. So I just choose patience and trust and love. There is an odd experience of light coming from a hole that's developing in the ceiling. Through it there are odd, it's just sort of, they're not darts, but they're kind of like darts. They have 4 prongs that create, it's sort of a cylinder, just a small dart-sized cylinder, right? And instead of just one spear in the center, it's got 4 spears that create a square around this sort of piece. And they're just going do-do-do-do-do-do. There's like several of them just falling, but they don't look like actual darts. They look more like old versions of plants that fell and they just dried in a very strange way like that. But this light that's coming in, the more light that comes in, the better. The dense, heavy energy is starting to subside, and I'm starting to be able to breathe again. I'm starting to be able to find myself again, find the light, find the illumination. I'm starting to make sense. I feel like I have the energy to stand. I'm standing. I feel this water going twirling down a drain very quickly. I feel like I'm gathering or collecting myself. I feel like I'm thankful for the light that entered into this room. I'm here. Why were you walking past me? Why did you open the fridge and close it and not see that I am here? But at the same time, I don't care that you didn't see me, because I just needed to feel the illumination. I needed to have the power or strength to be able to stand on my feet again. I'm telling you, it's really hard even now for me to stand on my feet. There's still a very heavy energy about this room. I can't see anything. It's just dark everywhere. I'm just trying to make out as best as I can what it is I can see here and what I've experienced from this room. The light is growing and expanding. It is sort of dissolving more of the ceiling, and I'm discovering that it's a spherical space. And it's coming down, and it's sort of growing around a sphere on the side. I feel dizzy or disoriented. I still feel sickly, I say. I reach my hand out to the light, and I say, help me. Help me stand. They say, we hear you. We'll help you stand. I say, thank you. I didn't think you would ever come. I've been here so alone that I didn't know what to do. It's just this paused moment. They're what could only be described as 2 men. They look very similar to the one that had bowed. They too have really white colored hair. It's very long and straight. And they have some sort of like a metallic band going across here with like something ornamental in the center over the third eye. And they're both men, and they're both in sort of white long robes. They're saying, Mel, please stand up. They're holding their hand out to you. They're twins. They look just like the first man, but now it's 2 of them standing here. They're showing that it was you down here all along. I am just experiencing this part of you. They say, are you able to stand? We'll hold your hands. They reach their hand out, and you grab the one's hand, and you try to stand. They both come over and help you and help you stand. But at the same time, they show how heavy and dense you are, and so you were back sitting down. They're reminding you of where the light is. It's within your heart. Don't ever forget that. The light isn't off in the distance. You aren't walking toward it. It's in your heart all along. So where's the light of God? It's within you. It always was within you. Anything else was the illusion. This is where the light is, in your heart. They're reminding you so you can find the light within you. As they remind you, you start to feel empowered. You're actually starting to glow, and it's in your head first. It's sort of in your heart portal up here region, and then head. Nothing else. You're morphing or changing in your face. Again, I see this other part of you, the scary one with the long hands and fingernails. She is ripping this head part, they're shredding your body apart, and she's coming out and she's screaming. It's okay, we need to do this. You needed this. Your soul needed to speak. This part of the soul desperately needed to share. So badly. It is so worthy of speaking and clawing and sharing however it needs to. Because that is how it communicates, so we can get the love into your heart. This side of your reflection. When this heals, you're going to feel quite different and quite ascended. We are welcoming this part of you to come out. It is so many layers of flesh that is just falling off. It is starting to calm and find a state of peacefulness. It is starting to glow again with the light within. It is starting to collect and regain itself, its understanding of self. It isn't fully aware just yet, but it's starting to remember. It's starting to remember what love feels like. I'm telling you, the energy is really strong here. It's really pure. It's really intense. It's a lot of energy. You are just moving up and ascending up a ladder of some extraordinary kind. You are breaking free. You are letting go. You are releasing. You are gravitating out of this room. Nothing can hold you back. You know where to find God's love. This time it is in an orb of energy that is so much higher than the last one. You're gravitating toward this pure, concentrated, sacred light and love, entering into it. You're just gravitating there. It's such a slow drift. And through the entire drift of it, you are completely surrounded and encased in light. It's as if you're there already, but there's so much further you can go into the purity and concentrated love in this core center of the light itself. And this light is in an orb feels so much higher than the last one. It is you've completely let go of that entire spiritual that space was part of your spiritual reflection of the torment of your soul journey. And this is such that is just dissolving. It has no reflection. It's just dissolved away, completely dissolved away. And now you are just gravitating up. It is so pure and blissful. You don't have another thought in your mind about what that was or why that happened. You are just so infinite, and you just are gravitating towards the heart of God. It's the only way I could describe it. It's unbelievable to experience. It's absolutely unbelievable. I feel like I want to rest. I feel like I want to rest this time. And it feels like God's arms holding me, and God's heart is beating against my chest, and I can feel it in my own heart. It's so tender and loving. I don't feel anything but love. There's no fear, there's no questions, there's no shame, there's no pain or suffering at all. It is absolutely pure and loving, and that is all it is. But isn't that all you could ever want to feel? Something that pure. It's so worthwhile to stay in the moment of pure love of this kind. This time we're staying is so beautiful. All I can describe is what would be a small light in a massive orb of light. This small light is getting bigger and bigger and bigger by absorbing God's love, and now it is bigger than this original orb of light itself. So now you are God's love within you, and now you are growing beyond it. So this love is now at the center of your heart. God's love at the center of your heart. It's really extraordinary. It's beautiful. You deserve this. Everybody, every soul deserves to feel this. Every human being, everything deserves to feel this. It's really immaculate. This isn't something you die and then go experience. This is something every human being needs to feel and experience while they are alive on earth. And it can be experienced here. It really can. We just bring God into our heart and share that love and purity with everybody. But they have to choose to open their heart to it, just like your soul had to choose to see the light was not at a distance, but they were ready to feel it. You were ready to feel it in your own heart. They said it was time. You're expanding and expanding in light beyond this orb of light. It's so beautiful. You are feeling the light within your own heart in such a way. You feel risen. You feel risen up from it. It's incredibly pure. I'm watching you rise up even further into the light. Just when you didn't think you could get further in the light, there's just so much more light to experience. So much more concentrated love to experience. You never realized how much more love could be experienced. Now we can see why you're such a pure angel such a stunning soul to look at, because of your soul journey has allowed you to ascend and then fill yourself with this much of God's infinite love. How many times has your soul done this? It's amazing. How high can the soul go? How ascended? How transformed in love? How purified? So what else, I say? They say, are you ready to move on again from the experience of God's love? They say, I want to stay forever, but sometimes you have to accept that there is a time for the infinite love and there is a time for learning too. It's just like incarnation journeys. You are born and then reborn. And in between each experience, you get to experience God's divine love. And you get to experience that for eternity, whether or not you're in the incarnation. Your soul, your higher self, is always a part of this immaculate oneness. I say again, I don't want to leave. It's too beautiful. I don't want to know anything else. I just want to stay in this beautiful energy forever. They say, then you can. I say, but how can I? I can't always stay here forever. I say, well, why can't you? I say, well, isn't there more work to do? Isn't there more learning? They say you get to choose when you're ready to learn again. If you feel that you need to stay in God's love, then you can stay for as long as you desire. I start to drift asleep, and somehow I'm drifting into the experience of being a human being sleeping. There's an experience of shadow upon my face, but I'm sleeping like an angel. There is a bubble of thought. I am thinking or dreaming. I am exploring myself, my identity, my life experience. When I dream, I am exploring myself. Myself as a human being, as a soul, as an emotional body, as a mental body, a sexual body. All of these different bodies have a voice, and they're speaking together in the dream state, self-realizing in the dream state. They say you have many voices also speaking in your dreams as well. It's an experience of self-realization. You know that you're hungry for more self-realization, is what they're saying. You had mentioned about dreams, and that's what they are saying. They're saying that you are self-realizing. You've had dreams that were quite haunting, right? And you've connected with crystals in order to find relief from those. But then you find yourself really wanting to know why you're having these dreams and to return to them so you can examine them again and examine what they mean to you again. They're saying your choice to then let go of the crystal is you feeling ready to do more self-realization work. Not just to have a human experience, but to have an extraordinary spiritual experience as a human being. And you are hungry, you are starving for more of that profound spiritual experience in the human form. In today's world where it's sort of stifled and it's dimmed out, and not many people know how deep you can go into spirituality. But you know, your soul knows. It knows so well that it's sort of bleeding into your physical experience, and now your physical experience, it just feels like it needs something. It needs some real spice and energy and meaning and depth. Even if it's a little scary, I want to understand something more. I want to understand why. They're saying you're doing an amazing job. Then you're going down a journey of self-realization, not just as a human being, but as quite a profound soul. You need to know this about yourself. They're showing me keys dangling. So we have a ring, and there's quite a few keys on here, and they're jingling. These are keys of understanding, is what they say. Which key do you want to try? Well, we can open a new door for you. Which door do you want? It's kind of exciting. It's like a game, you know? It's like you have 1,000 little cubby holes, and you got 1,000 keys, and each key has a number on it, 1 through 1,000. And you're like, okay, I'm going to try 795 today. And then you put it in, and what's inside? This is kind of what you're experiencing right now. It's delightful. There's so many cubby holes of question marks. You don't know what you're going to find. And there's so many keys and so much to discover. And it's really joyful. I mean, it's really fun for me to experience this right now. It's like there's just so many options. I mean, as a human being, 1,000 seems like a lot. As a soul, it's like 1,000, that's all you can come up with. It's like, well, that's a lot to me. 1,000 is a lot. They're showing me 1,000 cubby holes now blended into one cubby hole. And now we have one key to this one. Do you want me to open it? Shall we see what's inside? It's way too exciting. I don't know what we're going to find in here, but it's good. It's time, right? We take the key, we slide it in, we turn it, and we open it. You're ready to open it, they say. We wouldn't be able to do this and hand you a key and give you the opportunity to open the one cubby hole. That is all of them blended into oneness. We would not have been able to do that unless you were ready for it. So, I open it. They instantly shift into a scene with what is sort of like a teenage girl. And it looks like she's at gym class, and there's just a little locker. I hear what's like basketballs bouncing and sneakers on, sneaking on that type of ground, like a basketball court or whatever. I'm just seeing you. I'm seeing lots of lockers, and it's only you opening and closing this one, and it makes the sound of like a metal locker closing, and it kind of has that echo in the locker gym room. And I see so there's this scene here. All these lockers are red in color. Just painted, they're really plain, there's nothing special about them. And then over here I just hear what is like basketball and sneakers, and so it's just two different scenes. I only see you, and you're short, and the basketball players feel really tall, and there's a separation as well. I don't get to see the basketball players, but all I can think of is really, really tall people, really tall men, really tall, really fast movements, back and forth, shifting, trying to lift a ball, get it in the basket, move back and forth, one side to the other, and movement and energy and a goal and striving for that goal. And then here you are, you look like a 12-year-old, you're small in a big world, and the lockers are really tall in comparison to you, and there's nobody here. It just feels kind of lonely, and there's something that just feels like there's just nobody else here. But it's not as if you're looking for anybody else to be here. You seem fine on your own. You seem to see something really deeply or beyond the senses of others. And you know that, and because you know that, there's not really an ability to connect with others because they just won't be able to comprehend your depth. You're not like everybody else. Whereas you sort of have a drink of some kind, but it has a straw in it. You're just drinking. It's like a pop or something. It's just like from a fast food joint or whatever. I mean, but it's just you're taking a drink out of it. You kind of, I don't know, it's like you've got a CD player or something, and you're kind of moving your body now. You just seem like you're a little more alive all of a sudden. You're just being more active. You're taking a drink. You're moving your body like you're listening to a good song. You are pressing, it's like an old school, compact CD player. And the disc kind of spins and then it slows down. You're taking it out, you're putting in a new disc, you're closing it, you're pushing the button to get to the right song you want to listen to. And now you're ready to listen to the next song. You really like this one. This is a good one. You chose this song. This song is the song you chose. You really like this one. This was a good choice. It's just you. You're in your own world experiencing this song. And everything else is fading into the distance, into the background. It's just you. You're turning into electricity. You're turning into like a fire person. And you're moving. I see this, it's dissolving away what are human features. All I see is what is an orangish kind of a flame or electrical. I mean, it's kind of electrical and flame combined into the outline of a body in a dark space. So I'm just watching. I see you getting smaller and smaller, and the darkness sort of getting bigger and bigger. It's really hard for me to tolerate it here. I feel it's further and further away from everything. I'm so glad I have this song, but even that seems to be at a distance. I understand this place. I've been here before. I know what this journey is like. I have been on this journey many times. I am choosing to take this gift of ascension, descending into darkness, right? But you are ascending beyond it, ascending in a way that's so extraordinary. My soul is recognizing this. I'm starting to adjust and get used to the gift of walking down the triangle of separation. You're starting to find a familiarity and a rhythm with choosing that journey experience. And that is now why your soul is so profound. You have chosen to go down that road now a third time. And this time it's easier. This time the darkness, it's sort of like I can be blind in the darkness, and I recognize this from somewhere. I've done this before. It's easier to find the light within yourself. It's not as hard as it was the first time or then the second time, and now the third time it's starting to become more familiar. Your soul has chosen to do this many times. What does that mean exactly? Do you know how many lifetimes your soul walks into as experience of an incarnation cycle? How many lifetimes? We don't know. For your soul to say, this time I'm going to choose to separate from God's love so I can comprehend God's love even more. And so you step in and bam, instantly 1,000 lifetimes, but you have to live every single one of them. And what could feel like a split moment of you discovered the light within, and now you're moving on, and now you're doing it all over again. Now you're doing it all over again. And now this time it's a little easier than the last two times. I mean, it's far easier. It's like the darkness becomes familiar. It's almost like it's exciting because you're becoming so learned that this time it's like it's exciting. It's like, you know what, I've seen you before. I've done this before. I've experienced the darkness before. You can try to outsmart me, but I have been broken so hard and then broken so hard again. And now I have learned so much from those two super insane, hardcore incarnation experiences that I just feel like I am strong. And this is also part of your soul that is creating the curiosity and the need for self-awareness again, because some part of your soul really likes the hard rides, the scary rides, the rides of separation in order to conquer the illusions and become extraordinarily profound reflections of God energy. I mean, it's for me to be on this journey with you right now is like, wow. Now we know why you are respected and revered. Now we know why. This time you are in pure darkness in the separation, but you're quickly finding the light within, and you're quickly finding it so much that you're striking a match that you created yourself, and you're smiling and rejoicing in the ability to see the illumination through choice. You're sort of like a human being that starts to figure things out. And this is many, many lifetimes. To start manifesting miracles. To start that, it's sort of like what they're saying is eventually the soul gets into a phase of incarnation experiences where it is so beyond that it starts manifesting miracles. And your soul has now been down that dark road so many times that it has become so purified and in God's love that you could go down the dark road and start manifesting miracles and be able to take it like such a champ, where another soul, it would be so traumatizing and inspire that torturous experience, only to find the strength to be this now. Now you see why the angels can't help them. They have to allow them to find the light within themselves. Because when you conquer it, this is how far you can go. And souls do conquer it. So we are walking through a dark hallway. You have a match, an everlasting match, basically. And there are some very scary faces we see here. And you're smiling and waving to your friends, you say. I love them all. I love their souls so much. I recognize the souls that chose these journeys of agony and transformed in the light. And some are still working on it. But the further we get down, the heavier it gets and the harder it is to deal with. And it feels like I'm being squashed by too much energy. And it's so heavy and hard on me. It's just so many faces. Just so many. It starts to get so much harder again. I start to feel the hard separating misery. That I know how hard it is. It is what happens when you separate from God's love. It's so hard. It gets easier, but it's still hard. It's still so hard. I see myself looking at this red rose, and I feel just the agony of thousands of life experiences separated from God's love. And I pull off a petal and I try to feel its softness. I try to rejoice in the feeling of it. I can't feel it at all. I have no feeling of what love feels like. I can't even experience the softness of this rose. I can't smell the fragrance. I just feel the pain of the thorns sinking into my hand and making me bleed, and it hurts. It's just so much pain here. It's just so dark here. I long to find the light again. So I choose patience. I choose acceptance. I choose understanding. Because I know why I chose this journey in the first place. I chose it so I could feel this love. God's love. In such a way I have never felt it before. Ascension of my soul into a whole new orb of energy, of light, of God's purity, of His divine love, in a way I've never felt it in any other experience. I long for it. And in this moment, I feel how courageous and amazing my soul is. And when I feel that, the sensation of love returns, so that even in the darkness, I can feel the love, the fragrance, the smell of fragrance, the feel of the soft petals. I am surrounded in darkness, but yet I can remember. And my understanding and acceptance of my soul journey brings in the light of God within my heart, so I can remember these beautiful gifts of love. I'm starting to remember them. I'm starting to feel them. I feel how strong that I am. I'm able to manifest the memories from other lifetimes. Even into the experiences of greatest pain and suffering, I can find a way to smile. Because of my lifetimes, because of my soul journey. This is how extraordinary your soul is. It could be the soul that endures a concentration camp and be that human being that can still smile and hold the other humans that souls are still learning how to conquer that nightmare. You're really strong. You're really impressive. You've been on a very, very long journey. You say, I'm ready again. This time you know that you can just stand up and say it's time. And that you can return to God's love whenever you're ready. And this time it comes so much quicker because you remember. And you say, I manifest light. I manifest God's love here. You say, I don't care how long it takes. I know it's going to be an instant and your love will embrace me once more. I know I can keep walking again. You're continuing to walk down this dark tunnel, down this dark soul incarnation journey. But this time, instead of being broken and transformed by evil, right? You are able to overcome the illusion and manifest love even in the darkest of experiences. This is how purified your soul is. You're continuing to walk and you're allowing your courage and strength to shine through your heart. And your heart is leading you into God's arms once more. And you're continuing to walk in pure darkness and you feel the separation, but you can still remember God's love. And it keeps moving you forward one step at a time. And you feel it and you feel closer and closer and closer. And then you know at any moment it is time. It is time for God's arms to surround you. And you keep moving and you keep moving and you keep moving and you keep moving and you keep moving. You are that strong that you are continuing to walk in darkness and be able to feel God's love within your heart. And it's agonizingly long time. It is an agonizingly long time where you are choosing to walk in darkness and trust. Now it is a state of pure trust and acceptance and letting go that it may never come. What if it never comes? But you know it comes. It always does come. Even if it feels like a very, 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 very long road to get there, it always comes. And when it comes, it feels so instantaneously like it never even happened. And you're in God's arms once more. And you're delighting in it. You're ascending once more. They say open the doorway so that you may enter into God's arms once more. The doorway opens. It slams shut in your face, but you say, no, you don't. You walk through the door and you walk into God's arms now. Everything, it just goes away, instantly vanishes. All you feel is light and love all around. Did you know that was the locker that you chose? The locker that inspired you to ascend through darkness into God's arms. Into pure light again. Illumination, that's what they call it. It's not just light, it's illumination, it's pure love. The concentration of this love is even more profound than the last. And more profound than the last. I didn't think it could get even more profound, but yet it has. It's gotten more and more profound. It just keeps getting more profound. So I'm staying here in this moment for a while. It's hard to breathe. It's sort of like an echo of energy in my head, and it's disorienting. It's very disorienting for my human body to experience it. But the soul is so purified and in such a state of bliss, it is unfathomable. It is extraordinary. It's hard to breathe through. It's so beautiful. This is how far you've come. This is who and what you are. This extraordinary. It feels like you yourself are such a pure reflection of God. It's unimaginable. It's just, you are not, it's, you enter into God's love. God love surrounds you, heals you. You enter into God's love. God, you purify in God's love. You grow beyond God's love. In this version, you are God's love. You are so ascended in the light that you are such a pure and concentrated version of God's love. It is unbelievable. Where do you go from here? This is what ascending beyond the stars feels like. This is what ascending beyond the stars looks like. You know, those stars are all the other souls that have not conquered your level of ascension yet. This is what ascending beyond the stars is. Well, you know what this is. You know what this means. You are such a profound soul that you helped many other souls conquer their own soul journeys of this kind, of this extraordinary kind. And it is hard. It is very, very hard. Do you understand the honor and the respect that is shared with your soul? Do you understand now what it is and why it is given to you? It's really extraordinary, the energy. This isn't just for me, this is for you. You feeling this energy. Anyone who watches this video to experience purity of love of this kind, you can open your heart and say, God, I desire to be filled with the purity of this kind of love, ascending my soul to new heights, new extraordinary experiences. It's really amazing. So, just really extraordinary. I just don't know what to do again. I say to my spirit guides, I don't know where to go from here. I don't know what to do. They say, give her this orb. So I'm carrying this orb, and I see you smiling at me. You're standing in darkness, but your smile is full of so much light and so much love. You can't fool me. I give you this orb of illumination, and I enter it into your heart. It's God's love for you, but it is your love. It is beyond any measure of language I could define it with. This is something you've been waiting for a long time. You've been waiting to receive this gift. And now here it is. This is what we find in the locker of your soul journey. This divine blessing of pure love. Love so pure it is disorienting. It is unfathomable. I am entering it into your heart. There, as I enter it into your heart, they show me it's not enter your heart. You actually hold it now in your hands before you like this. And then there's a spiral of energy going around you, and around you, and around you. And all of this sort of darkness is just fading. And all I can see is you in the center of extraordinary light, holding the core of light in the center within you. It's just manifest light. It's growing brighter and brighter. It is filling you. You are in the center of the light, and the light, this concentrated light, is also growing and glowing, and it's in the center of you too. It's blending, merging. You are merging with it. It is merging with you. There's just a development of light and more light and more light, and your smile is getting, it's just so big and bright. It always was, but all this sort of shadow is just diminishing. It isn't there anymore. All that's there is you. It's just you and the light. It's so beautiful. You're so beautiful in the light. It's so lovely. You are experiencing this gift. There is another version that is screaming on the inside. You know all about this. You are welcoming this light to purify and heal the screaming part of you, so that it can finally not scream anymore. There is a moment of what could only be defined as this side that is smiling and this side that is screaming, was screaming. I just see you both now. This one smiling, this one smiling, like twins. Two twins smiling at me. Merging and then separating, totally balanced with each other as one divine energy of joy and love, also blending with this higher elite sort of vibrational self. That is this orb. That is your highest vibration. That is your most purified and divine reflection. You are it. It is you, blended in oneness. An immaculate ascension. I can feel it in the heart, so pure. It is filling up everything that you are. What makes up you? How many energy waves, how many particles of matter, how many colors and sounds, instantly feeling this energy. It's unbelievable. It's just a concentrated liquid love. It just instantly entered into your heart portal, this highest vibration. I don't know how to explain it. It's too amazing. I can feel it. It's sort of like something that is so sour and you put it on your tongue and you can't even tolerate it. It's like, ooh, it's so sour. This is the energy that it's like, whoa, that's freaking me out. It's so sour, but it's like the super concentrated super love. It's like the ultimate God kiss. It's like the ultimate, like, whoa, pucker up moment. Like, woo, baby. That's what it feels like. Is that ecstasy? Is that ascension? Is that divine? Is that sacred? Is that... Those words don't even qualify. It's the super pucker. It's the super joy. It's the super sour love. The super love. It's the concentrated love. It's amazing. This is it. This is where you go from here. Where do you go from here? You've opened all the lockers. Where do you go from here? You decide. Decide where you go from here. This is the gift that Soul Spirit wanted to share with you today. It's the gift God wanted to share with you today. This is the gift your higher self wanted to give to you today. This is the gift the infinite universe wanted to give to you today. I want you to have this gift, so you get to decide what you'll do with it from here. It's really special. So thank you for this experience. Thank you very much for this experience. I can't wait to see what Joseph discovers. It's really fun. It's really beneficial. It's really extraordinary when we can do the healing work together. You're not only getting the energy from my soul, you're getting the energy from his soul. So do two souls of love sharing healing with you at the same time. Ascension, highest vibration, purity. Anything that we can sort of get from God love, get it into your infinite reflection to make you just feel so much more profound than ever before. That's what we're here for. It's what we're here to do. So thank you for letting us do that for you. All right, I'm going to say thank you one more time. And for those of you interested in experiencing a soul rebirth journey or an experience, an Abbey and Joseph Journey Experience, please visit my website at abbynormalswisdomquest.com. Thank you for watching.